Good evening, Derby fans. Could I please get an auditory response because waving at me is not going to help? Who's ready for a little bit of roller derby? Thank you, I appreciate that. I don't have very good eyesight, would not have been able to tell with the thumbs up and thumbs down. My name is Clafton P. Grudge.
And I'm Gabagool! If it's your first time at the Derby, make some noise!
Hey, we got a pretty sizable
hi!
first-time crowd, I know, right? Exciting.
I love first-timers.
Yeah.
I also don't know what's going on, so I will ask questions throughout the match.
We work towards that, and honestly, it gives me a great foil to explain roller derby. I love it.
I was trying to think. I think I've done this 4 times now. I think I got the hang of it.
So we wanted to say, as you are here at the arena, if you've been here before, you've probably heard this. 3 important ground rules we got to go over first.
What are they?
The first one is skaters take priority in line for the bathroom.
Oh, important.
So make sure that skaters, if they are trying to get to the restroom, let them go in. We do have nice, clean restrooms outside provided by Reliable, as you see the banner over here on the front of the grandstand in the far turn.
And an angry skater ready to urinate. Oh, my goodness. That's
right.
such... Ooh.
Secondly, don't forget, no whistling from the stands. Please, no
don't whistle.
whistling from the stands. That our skaters and our regulators are trained for the sound of the whistle and will stop skating, so no whistling from the stands. Last, we have our third and final regulation to go over is stay behind that yellow line that surrounds the track. Stay behind that yellow line at all times. That goes around the track. That'll keep you out of range of extremities, whatnot coming out of the track. We have had skaters come completely off the track in both of our regular season bouts so far this year. So we mean it, stay behind that yellow line.
Also, tonight is drag night. Basically, you are all honorary drag queens for the day, so congratulations. What it means to be a drag queen is to mean love your community, and give as much as you can give to this match and energy, because when you give more energy, our teams give more energy. We have a special charity that is going to benefit this evening, and the CEO and owner is here. I'd like to introduce Edward Michael. Edward Michael, can you tell us more about your charity that's going to be benefited this evening?
Hello, everybody. My name is Edward Michael. I'm with the organization called Your Big Break. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization that helps the performing arts community here in Arizona. So if you are an aspiring singer, dancer, actor, anything in the performing arts category, we encourage you to visit our website, yourbigBreakinc.org. What we do is we help our performing arts individuals not only with their business needs, but also with mentorship as well as job opportunities as well. So everybody's support is greatly appreciated. If you know somebody in the performing arts community, we encourage you to make sure that they go to our website to apply for one of our programs. I'll be walking around if you want some more information. I do have some pamphlets. I want to thank the Arizona Derby Dames for allowing us to be here, as well as Gabagool here. And let's have a good night. Thank you so much.
We're so glad you're here. Give it up for Edward Michael with Your Big Break. Edward Michael, please go ahead and hand those out. Let them know what's happening with your charity. I am of the arts. I love the arts. Everything you see on me is basically like an art project. Probably like 3rd grade art project, but nonetheless, it's still something to be hung up on the fridge and be proud of. We have a few more minutes. Oh. Just kidding, I lied. We're so excited. I'm glad to be here with you. Let's announce the regulators.
Hey, everybody, you heard that whistle. You heard Gaba say we are doing safety checks at this moment. We are safety checking down there on the track. You see our regulators going through and checking all the gear. Helmets buckled, pads on, etc. Numbers facing the right direction, whatnot. Breath mints in. So that's going to give us a moment to introduce to you the one team that we quite literally could not do this without. And that team is the Regulators. They keep the peace on the track.
Let's go, Regulators.
All night long. And let's introduce you that team. We'll go back and forth down this list here. A head ref in this first bout is Ref Boyardee. Your game executioner
is Chasen Voorhees.
Your front pack referee is Bender B. Rodriguez.
We have the back of the pack is Lolly.
Your first jam ref is Rosie the Ripper.
And we also have Crashed.
Eye in the sky, we've got Lucifer.
Hey, Lucy. We also have Streak.
Penalty tracker, excuse me, is Mamacidal.
Hey, Mamacidal. We also have Baby Rat as the PTA.
Penalty box home is Psycho Sis.
And we also have the penalty box, Yazzie Dazzle.
And your scoreboard is Gigi.
I didn't get all these names. I love them so much.
Yeah, I know. They're wonderful, too. Hey, everybody, let's get another round of applause for the Regulators. Like I said, without them, it would be total anarchy out there. We'll get to team introductions here just momentarily. So excited to have your big break here tonight. So excited to have wonderful performers here, such as Gabagool.
What would your regulator name be?
What if I? Oh well, I don't have a. See, I sort of have. Well, I don't have a regulator name. There we go. 1 second. Anyway, no. If I have a derby name, it's Clofton Peak Garudge.
Clofton.
Yeah, Clofton.
Oh, your full government name?
Yeah, exactly. So, no, it was Freya gave that to me. True story. Freya was. If Freya's listening, I guess I can't tell the whole story.
Hey,
but
Freya.
Freya had some stuff to drink and had inhaled some stuff from a vaporizing device,
Oh
and
my
then
gosh.
called me Clofton P. Garudge and said I danced like background characters in GTA 5.
Oh my God, that's how you get named as a drag queen as well.
Yeah, it just happens, right? You can't pick a name; it just has to be bestowed on you. It's like
If you make
nicknames.
eye contact and someone gives it to you with like conviction, it's your name.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's just then you've been named. It's like running into somebody that's part of the Fae folk. Like, sorry, that name's yours for several lifetimes now.
Your scary mama in the evening. That's your name. Get out there.
All right, let me write down one more name on this roster. And then I'll tell you what, Gabagool, I think we're about ready to go.
Oh, this is exciting.
Let me check
Audience,
right
are y'all
on here.
ready? Make some noise. Okay. I know it's like 5 o'clock, but this is how we make noise. Woo! So when I ask you to make some noise, make some noise. Okay, all right, you acting like professionals, and I love that. Professional audiences for the day. Thank you.
All right, Derby fans, here we go for your first bout of the evening. We'll get you the Bombshells momentarily, but taking the track first from the far bench, wearing burnt orange tonight and black on the bottom end, it is the Doomsday Valkyries.
Wearing number, oh wait, give him a lap. Yeah, let me give it a lap.
I'll do that.
Okay.
Thanks. Sorry, this is my fam.
Let's go, Doomsday. I may refer to them as Orange Team.
Skating tonight for the Doomsday Valkyries, number 007, Clutch Cannon.
Let's go, Clutch.
Number 34, Pretty Hurt Machine.
Hey!
Number 38, NC Jammer. Number 070, Invader Slim. Number 98, Blair Bitch. Number 101, Hurricane May. Number 131, Muerta. Number 401, Autumnus Prime. Number 626, Remy Ruckus. Number 669, Nikki Badass. Number 816, debuting for the Valkyries tonight, Kansas City. co-captain of the Valkyries, number 73, Shirls. And your team captain, number 22, Mimi Mahler. Coaching tonight for the Valkyries, Infidel Castro and Dahlia Murder.
That was good. That was good.
Now taking the track from the near bench, wearing their black outfits tonight with accents of red, that's the Bombshells.
Let's go, Bombshells! Yes, Bombshells. I get the pleasure of introducing the Bombshells number 3. We have Enema Burns. Give it up for 24K Gold Digger. We have number 30, Zora La Bruja. We have number 55, Skid Vicious. We have number 68, Juicy Culture. Number 71, Mad as Sin. Number 11, D4, Slappy Go Lucky. Number 182, Hannibal Letcher. Number 300, Dolly Spartan. Wearing 666, Strange. 710, Mo Fasta. Wearing the number 835, wait, what's this? Scarian Jaeger. Okay, see, you got me there. Wearing 1897, Impala Swift. And wearing 1999, Show Enough. That is your Bombshells with coaches Rough Rider and Tornado Alley.
All right, you did such a great job with that, Gaba. Seriously,
thank you.
It's almost like you're a show person or something.
It's like I can do it. I can definitely do it.
We are about ready to go. We are about ready to go for our first bout of the evening. Of course, don't forget, stick around. It's twice as nice here at the Derby Arena. I don't know. I'm trying out new slogans. I'm not on marketing. We have the Runaway Brides and the Brutal Beauties later on. So
okay.
That's right. Runaway Brides 1-0 so far. The Doomsday Valkyries also 1-0. Oh, absolutely, sure.
Yeah,
Hey,
you
one
can
second.
take a picture.
Yeah. I don't know
I'll
why.
turn
you
and
can. I don't know why you
wave
wanna
at our
take a
streaming
picture of
because we're
me.
on Twitch.
I feel like I should
Twitch
hide
you.
behind Gaba.
Yes. Bender to the ring.
Bender B. Rodriguez. Bender B. Rodriguez.
We're gonna
Looking
need
for you. All right, we're on it. There we go. Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah, no problem. I do like that. I would like to point out that Ref Boyardee has a helmet cap when he's head. The head ref has to wear a white hat or some sort, and Refy has a helmet cover that says head ref on the front, helpfully.
Yeah, that's helpful.
So there you are. All right, we are just about ready to get underway. Let me get the roster up on here. So super exciting. So this is Kansas City's first bout with her new hometown team.
So who's in the lead so far in the league? I haven't been here for a minute.
No worries. So the Runaway Brides are 1-0. They
Okay,
won
Brides.
last bout. The Valkyries are also 1-0.
Okay.
They won in the first weekend of the year.
Okay.
The Coffin Draggers are now 1-1.
Okay.
They beat a team the first weekend and then lost a very, very exciting match to the Brides at our last bout.
Ooh.
And then the Bombshells and Beauties, Estfar, are 0-1 and looking to get in the win column. So that's where we're at. We got 1-1. We got two 1-0 teams, and we got one team that's gone twice.
And the goal is to score as many points as possible.
Right. And exactly, and the draggers are off tonight, and then basically after tonight, everybody skated twice, and we'll know a lot more about the standings in about 3.5 hours.
Ooh, I love it.
I know, me too. It's like you don't even have to do things to pump this sport up. It does it itself. My gosh, it makes my job so easy.
Audience, make some noise. Are you ready?
That's right.
Waiting for the signal.
All right, we are ready to go. Your first jammer for the Valkyries is number 38, NC Jammer. And that's going to be strange for the Bombshells. That's number 666.
You'll notice that there's two people that have stars on their helmet. Who are those? I know who they are. They're the Jammers.
That is correct. We just said the Jammer line, so if you're new to Derby, we'll kind of give you a little once over here in the early jams here. You start with 2 Jammers behind the pack. One for each team. You see NC Jammer for the Valkyries in orange is now out of the pack.
And when they're the lead jammer, what's the difference between the jammer that's behind them?
All right. So that is your lead jammer. What your jammers have to do, the ones wearing the stars, is they have to get all the way through the pack once and then get around the track. After that, as NC Jammer has done, now every skater that NC passes is a point. That is your basic, that is how they score points, and that's how we determine winner or loser.
And if you get pushed off the track, you have to get back on where you got off.
That's right. There's a lot of things you'll see like that we'll mention. There's a lot of penalties that can be accrued.
Oh, so many penalties.
You will see right now that there's nobody in the penalty box. That's going to change probably soon, as penalties are assessed in Bank Track Roller Derby after the jam is over. And our first penalty taker is Impaler Swift, number 1897 in the penalty box. So that was 3 points for the Valkyries. These NC Jammer kind of got mired in the pack there while I was yammering away. So 3 points for the Valkyries to get the scoring underway. Jammers this time are Hannibal Lecture, number 182 for the Bombshells, and for the Valkyries, number 101, Hurricane May. So in this jam, as we've told you how they score points, so now we mentioned that pack that sits up there, there's 4 skaters for each side. If you suffer a penalty, as Impaler Swift has, now the Bombshells have 1 less skater on the track, 1 less blocker. Obviously, that makes it harder for them to keep the Valkyries jammer in, and makes it easy and makes it more difficult to get their own jammer out.
It's called a power jam.
Well, that's not. This is just a pack advantage.
This is just a regular one.
Right.
You're right.
One.
You're right.
We'll spoil the power jam when it comes
excited.
up.
I'm so excited.
Meanwhile, in this jam, Hurricane May has now finished a scoring pass and is coming around for a second. You do get the full 60 seconds to score as many points as you can. The important thing about lead jammer versus your second jammer getting out is that you just saw Hurricane May signal with a chopping hands to the hips motion. The lead jammer is allowed to stop the clock and end the jam. You'll often see jammers get out, get around in front of the second jammer, get their 4 points, and call it off. And you'll see that happen much more frequently than you'll see a skater score 7 points, as Hurricane May just did. That's a pretty good offensive output for one jam at regular strength.
Right. Or you can just keep going.
Yeah, you can keep going up until the 60-second clock ends. That's kind of your once over. We'll get to other little things as they come up. Now, the important thing, though, is if you're new to Derby, you have any questions, and I always mean this, come over here and ask me during quarter break or halftime. I love to talk. I don't stop talking when the microphone shuts off, so you can just get in the way of my words, and I'll hit your face with some knowledge. Meanwhile, over here on the track, this jam is starting. The Valkyries are out to a 10-0 lead. And who do we have jamming as they come around, ducking to the inside, getting clear with a shoulder is going to be Invader Slim for the Valkyries. Invader Slim just got a shoulder up under Dolly Spartan's clavicle and got clear of the pack for the Valkyries. That jammer for the Bombshells is Strange one more time.
Bombshells trying to stop the points. And calls it off. Wow.
Yep. So Slim gets back up and calls it off, trying to get through that pack for more points. A dire proposition.
And if you have any questions, come whisper in my wig. I'll listen.
Gaba or myself, anybody wearing Derby gear will also happily answer your questions. Like, you can honestly stop anybody wearing a skate jersey and say, how did this work? They will gladly tell you. We mean it. We love for people to know what the heck is going on. You're not just here to watch people get knocked over. It's a hell of a sport.
Yes.
We are back to it. That was 2 points for the Valkyries, so 12-0 in the early going. And that's going to be Hurricane May down there for the Valkyries one more time. Or is it? No, that is Muerta. Muerta for the Valkyries, number 131, not number 101. I saw those long braids whip around, and I'm like, May has not had hair that long in a while. Muerta gets out for the Valkyries. Jamming for the Bombshells is Scaring Jaeger. And Jaeger now pinned in the pack, now takes an opening, tries to get an opening, I should say, goes to the outside and gets pinned to the rail by Nikki Badaz. Jaeger to the inside, and there's May with the somewhat longer braids, as I did mention. See what I mean? Like when you're an announcer and you can't read names at a distance, you get used to things like, oh, I recognize that hair. That's Muerta. Meanwhile, Muerta putting 4 points on the board for the Valkyries, and we're at 16-0 here in the very early going.
It's still early. It's still early.
Oh, very early. Extremely early on in the going here. Yeah, no lead is safe, literally, in Derby. Like, you can, we frequently reference this story, but at last Roller Rage, the Trans Agenda managed to score about 60 points in 4 jams at the end of a game and very nearly stole one late because the other team had lost some skaters for penalties. So,
anything's possible.
You always keep watching. You never know. This is Pretty Hurt Machine, your jammer for the Valkyries in this jam, and Hurt is out and clear. Your jammer for the Bombshells this time around is going to be Dolly Spartan, number 300, and Dolly's out as well. So as we mentioned, you're going to see your jammer NC, yeah, that's not Hurt, I'm sorry. That's NC jammer number 38, not Pretty Hurt Machine number 34. My apologies. Thank you.
Ooh.
All right, and we've been told the food trucks are here. We haven't even touted them yet. So, oh my gosh, imagine how good they're going to sound when we tell you what they are. We'll get to those in a bit, obviously, as the action has just been rolling along here. I have had to ram in all that Welcome to Derby stuff because the action's been going so fast.
We
right?
did it. Go
I know.
team.
Yeah, like I seriously, again, come ask us. That's a lightning speed overview of what's going on, and it's as intricate as football, and it's on wheels. Meanwhile, Hurricane May for the Valkyries this time, and that's Scaring Jaeger once again for the Bombshells, and Jaeger's out. Jaeger out and clear for the Bombshells this time around. Hurricane May now pinned in the pack for the Valkyries. The Bombshells defense has got May hung up, trying to fight through, tries to find an opening, and manages to stay up. Got a hip block from Madsen, and and trying to fight through is Scaring Jaeger. Took me a second. The last season Mads was Mads Incognito, and the season before that was when they were still in the juniors and they were Madzilla. And so you'll have to forgive me. It's been 3 names in 3 years. That was a very good hit block by Madison. However, May was able to fight through it. Now we have a power jam.
A power jam! Audience, let's hear it.
The audience who knows what it is. Now, we'll tell you what that is for Bombshells
It's for the
fans.
Bombshells. Yeah, the Bombshells have the advantage.
Penalty assessed to Hurricane May, which means Hurricane May sits this jam out, but that means the Valkyries do not get a jammer, so the Bombshells get to play only offense, and the Valkyries have to just try and play defense. Trying to get clear of the pack, and you just saw Skid Vicious with those last 2 blockers at the end of the pack. When they threw their hands up in the air, a blocker has to be within 20 feet of the pack, as defined by the referees, to block. So what happened is the Bombshells were able to stretch the pack out far enough that those front blockers ended up being out of the pack by default. That is why you saw those blockers have to get out of the way. You'll see that frequently. Also, as Gaba mentioned, the skater who knocks you off the track, you have to get back on behind them. And you'll notice something in Bank Track Roller Derby, and that thing is that you can't stop. You can't stop. You can move forward imperceptibly fast, but you can't stop. And that's what you just saw as the Valkyries move forward at tooth-achingly slow speed to prevent Skid Vicious from getting back on the track.
And now that play's over, we have a full team on both sides, right?
Well, let's see what we've got. We got
okay,
2 jammers, and I hear a penalty being yelled in now, so 1 blocker down. Ended up being a 5-point power jam for the Bombshells. So the
Let's go Bombshells.
Bombshells have now cut the lead in half. It's 20-9, or roughly half, but I failed math my senior year. It was Calculus 2, and I didn't like the teacher, but I did still fail math. Slappy-Go-Lucky down to the inside is wearing those Brutal Beauties colors for their home team, so it took me a second, but as the Bombshells lead jammer, you see a number in pink, you think Beauties, what can I say? Slappy now up to the high side. Again, the Bombshells now. Slappy to the high side, able to get past Muerta.
Let's go, Bombshells. Get those points.
And
if you're a Bombshell fan, you better make some noise right now.
Absolutely. The Valkyries really had control of the first 4 jams, but since that power jam for the Bombshells, since Scaring Jaeger got first lead jam for the Bombshells before that, The Bombshells have really found their mojo here in the early going. Getting out of the pack for the Valkyries was NC Jammer, and calling it off, therefore, was the jammer for the Bombshells. And it's a 9-point jam for the Bombshells. So we have almost a tie game. The Valkyries went on a 20-0 run, and the Bombshells have now added 18 unanswered points.
And just like that,
right.
that's the
like
derby.
Like we said, there it is. We're 8 jams into the game. One team scored the first 4 times, and the other team scored the second 4 times. And that's the kind of things you can see in this sport.
It's hot. It's action. It's ready to score points.
And we are just barreling through. There's under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. I don't think I've inhaled yet. Hurricane May is out there for the Valkyries and just got knocked down hard to the inside and got knocked into the back of Strange, the Bombshells jammer.
Something you don't talk about, but that bank that is dangerous.
Yeah, it really is. The bank is very high. You'll have to know if you're not down by the ends of the track, or if you're just watching this on live stream for the first time, that the bank in the turns, the end of the track is 5 feet off the ground.
I tried to perform on that, and I was terrified.
Yeah, I can rest my chin on the edge of the track comfortably, and I'm 6'1". So, yeah, it is high in the corners. It dips in the straightaways, but in the turns it is extremely high, and physics do love to play with you. We've added 2 points for the Bombshells thereafter as everything was getting sorted out. And we've got a tie game, folks. We've already got a tie game here in the early going after 9 jams. So it is the action that was promised on the flyer anyway. So if you showed up based on the flyer, hopefully you're pleased. That is going to be Invader Slim for the Valkyries this time around. Skarin Jaeger for the Bombshells. Invader Slim out quickly for the Valkyries. Skarin Jaeger trying to get clear for the Bombshells. Pinned to the rail by Mimi Mahler. The defense at the front of the pack strong that time for the Valkyries. Skarin Jaeger down to the inside. Now Invader Slim runs up into some defenders for the Bombshells, tries to pivot to the inside, back to the high side, looking for an opening. Down to the inside, gets around a block and is able to not quite. That was not, excuse me. I had the wrong cheer. That was Skarin Jaeger getting out of the pack for the Bombshells. Well then, I honestly got a player kind of went in front and I thought Slim got out. So it ends up being the full 5, however, for the Valkyries for Invader Slim. So 25-20, tie is broken. Technically counts as a lead change, so sip your Diet Mountain Dew. We've got Muerta at the jammer line for the Valkyries, and that's going to be number 55, Skid Vicious for the Bombshells. Again, we're just ripping through this quarter. We've got 2:30 to go, and we haven't had time to do one sponsor read yet, so bear with us, sponsors. We will give you all the love we can. Skid Vicious out quickly for the Bombshells, gets right out of the pack. Muerta now out as well, right behind for the Valkyries. Will try to keep this to one scoring attempt for Skid Vicious. Skid Vicious, however, I heard an oh no, and now there I see Skid Vicious had dropped the helmet cover, so Skid had to pick it up and put it on to become an active scorer again. I did not catch that until coming down the back straightaway.
So let's talk about the panties, because that's what they're called.
Right.
What is the one that has a stripe down the middle? That's the backup jammer, right?
That is they are the backup jammer in a sense. They're called the pivot.
The pivot.
But right, they are the one who can become the jammer. The jammer can yank that helmet cover off, hand it to the pivot. Exactly. And you can hand it through the middle of the pack, hand it under somebody's arm. You know, that's the sneaky way to get your jammer out is what it is.
So if they're doing like a great job on defense, you can just be like,
shove it between two,
But they both have to switch.
Exactly.
Okay.
But what happened is Skid's helmet cover popped off because Lycra being what it is, and they had to go all the way around the track so Skid could pick it up. To become an active scorer, you have to be wearing the star to score points. So yeah, interesting development there, but still Skid does get 1 point out of it. Jamming for the Bombshells this time is Slappy Go Lucky, number 11D4. That's NC Jammer for the Valkyries that just got out in the front of the pack. You'll see also the pivot. You mentioned the pivot. They're kind of the quarterback of the defense. They definitely will key the pack. They will definitely key the pack, and you'll see frequently. I always cite Sandra Slay O'Connor, who's tall and plays pivot a lot and can see over the pack and is often shouting out instructions to the blockers. So
to the left,
you'll see the pivots do that a lot.
Get down low.
Exactly. No.
Get up high. Faster. Slower.
We're checking on the points. Bombshells are going to put 4 points on the board again. We're tied again. And we're under a minute to go in the first quarter.
Wow,
it's
it's
a back
anyone's
and forth
game
bout so far. Absolutely.
Also, during our quarter breaks and halftime, we have drag
We
performances.
do. We do. I am excited about that. I love when we have halftime and inter-quarter entertainment. It is fun. All right, that's Hurricane May for the Valkyries. Dolly Spartan for the Bombshells this time, and Dolly
Doomsday out in front
Dolly is now clear.
with the
yeah, May
lead
got out.
jammer.
May is out for the Valkyries, so trying to get there. Dolly Spartan is going to catch up pretty quickly. May is trying to call out some instructions for her blockers. Gets that point at the front of the pack and frantically signals to call it off. So we've got time for one more jam in the first quarter is the first thing. We'll check on the points here momentarily. So Hurricane May gets 2 points because Hurricane May, when you pass the first skater, you get the point for the penalty skater.
Okay.
So with the skater in the penalty box, you saw May pass one skater and get 2 points. What we have here to end the first quarter is going to be a second power jam for the Bombshells.
Bombshells with the power jam to end this quarter.
That's right. We got Slappy Go Lucky out there for 60 seconds of offensive goodness for Bombshells.
Woo, let's go, Bombshell fans. Make some noise.
That's right. It's a
Cheer them along.
second jammer penalty for the Valkyries in the first period. And honestly, the Bombshells, beyond not giving up a power jam, I feel like the Bombshells have skated pretty penalty light so far. So I'd say a good first quarter.
They are not giving up
right.
at all.
Closely fought on both sides, though. Definitely not a lot of penalties. I haven't seen a lot of small packs at all. So.
Do you think the Bombshells still have everything to prove because that one season?
Oh, well, I was going to say the Bombshells were 0-5 and then came back to last year, finished runners-up for the title.
For the title.
Right, exactly. And so now they're looking to, again, even the standings at this point.
Okay.
As we talked during the power jam, Slappy Go Lucky weaving through and then able to get past that last blocker and get clear. Valkyrie's defense, though, really made it challenging that time. You see right now all 4 blockers for the Bombshells have that blocker for the Valkyries pinned at the back, and the clock is going to run out.
And that's the end of the first quarter.
Right.
Let's see the score.
Checking on the score, and that is going to do it. We are going to head into the quarter break. Excellent defense by the Valkyries there in keeping Slappy Go Lucky from getting clear out of the pack, except at the very, very end. And no points surrendered on the power jam by the Bombshells. So what could have been a huge offensive output for them ends up in a goose egg, and we go into quarter break in a very close bout. 27-25. We'll be back after your quarter entertainment here at the at the Hall of Dames. I don't know what I said. This is not the house of anything. This is the Hall of Dames. I appreciate you.
Welcome to the house. Welcome to All right, I'm going to use this mic. Welcome to the Hall of Dames, everybody. This is Drag Night. Y'all ready for some drag?
Hello?
No, you got to get nice and loud because they spent 2 hours getting ready and ready to rock this rink. Are you ready for some drag? Well, good. Good. We don't have any drag. I lied to you all. Ha, 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 ha. Just, did you just boo me? Oh my gosh. Mom, is that you? All right. Just kidding. I'm thrilled to announce our very first artist that is here. I asked her, and she's going to be in my show afterwards, which, by the way, you're all welcome to come to Boycott if you're an adult. We have Talk of the Town, 8 p.m. It's my 15th year anniversary. But it's not about me. It's about the entertainers. And this entertainer is in that show this evening, and I'm so honored that you are here. Please, audience, get nice and loud for Deshauna Renee Rose. Also, please tip. Tip, 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 tippity-doo-dah-day, okay? I want to try that again. Turn that up. Let's try that again. Deshauna Renee Rose. Derby, let it. Derby, make some noise for Deshawn. Oh, yes! Deshauna Renee Rose. You crazy, girl. You crazy. Doing flips on the track. You're crazy. You're gonna. Hey, also, if you have some tips, please wave your dollars. Would you like to go collect your money? Because you were giving it. What's she giving it? Okay, how's your ankles? How's your back? Okay, you're walking perfect. You're a model. Okay. All right, so who wants to do that same performance? You can pause that, my love. You can pause the music. Oh, thank you. Also sweet. So who wants to do that exact performance? You? Okay. All right. This is audience participation drag. Remember, you're all drag queens.
Underway here in the second quarter, as you heard, and taking over right away as lead jammer is going to be NC Jammer for the Valkyries, and then the Bombshells jammer up to the high side. Bombshells to the inside. That was Slappy Go Lucky for the Bombshells. Getting underway here, getting our feet up underneath us here. Five points for the Valkyries there, so the Valkyries start off the second quarter. With the scoring first, it is 32-25. That is going to be Strange for the Bombshells down to the inside. Hurricane May for the Valkyries this time around. And Hurricane May gets blocked off the track by Juicy Kill Tour, but then jumps back up with a couple of running strides. Kind of takes off and runs away. Out quickly behind is Strange, though, and on the chase. So now catching up to the pack, running by that last skater, as we mentioned before, to get that point at the back of the pack is Hurricane May, and calls it off. Gets the point plus the ghost point, as the penalty point is called. So we are at 34-25. Valkyries are extending their small lead here in the early going of the second quarter. You've got Hannibal Lecture, number 182, is on the jammer line for the Bombshells this time, and that's going to be Invader Slim for the Valkyries once again. There we go. We are looking at Hannibal Lecture is up towards the front of the pack, and wow, Mimi Mahler sprung free and just absolutely delivered a crushing block to Hannibal Lecture. Was kind of pinned in behind the pivot for the Bombshells, and then just broke out of there. Wow. And then Hanny gets dumped to the inside. Invader Slim is going to get bumped off the track trying to get clear at the front of the pack.
This is an all-volunteer league, right? Everybody is volunteer here.
Everybody is volunteer here.
Wow.
We are
gluttons for punishment.
up
No.
to the high side, running up and down. There goes Invader Slim. Still no lead jammer yet. We're down to the point where, yeah.
Wow, where they at? Come
Yeah.
on. Come
Well,
on, jammers.
We're down to the point now where basically it wouldn't matter. A jammer would have to get all the way around to score, and that's why everybody kind of just skated out the last several seconds of that.
Oh,
So, no
that makes
points for
sense to
either
me.
side.
Sort of just like run it out.
Yeah, exactly. So, no points for either side.
Try it again.
Pull that up there, and then we've got full strength again. And as I mentioned earlier, seems pretty penalty light so far outside of the 2 power jams. And I guess those are just penalties in and of themselves, just on inopportune players. So, again, though, however, an even strength pack, both jammers out there. That's going to be Muerta for the Valkyries. Your jammer for the Bombshells is Strange. And Strange is going to get deposited sharply down to the infield. Up now and racing up to the front of the pack once again, though, is Strange, and is going to get blocked off again. That front wall of defenders for the Valkyries has been pretty strong all night. You are looking at Nikki Badass up there. That is also going to be Hurricane May in the front of the pack this time, along with Clutch Cannon. To give everybody a little bit of love, Hurricane May wearing the pivot stripe. We once again are looking at a pack with neither jammer out with 14 seconds left. So both defenses have absolutely come up huge here in the last 2 jams.
They are annihilating the other team to hold them from getting points. That's
Yeah.
what you want, is a great defense, right?
That's right. So
and an
both
awesome
teams.
offense.
Thank you. Al and ILH just says that is what we want. And we agree. And
Okay,
if we
see?
don't, Al will chase us.
Wonderful. I don't want to chase. I can't
No.
run.
No. Al can run fast. I can't. I've only got one good leg, and even if I had 2, I couldn't run very fast. We've got somebody coming up to call our first time out of the game, believe this or not. With 10:36 to go in the second quarter, we have our first time out of the game. Wowzerino. And it's an official timeout to talk over some of the goings-on in that last jam. So right now, 34-25, Valkyries in front at the moment after a couple of jams in which they scored points. Been back and forth throughout. Let's get to some sponsors.
Yeah, as you came in, we had some booths. I hope you all stopped and seen those booths, as well as came over to the incredible snack session area. Please grab some of the information because we have some sponsors this evening, and we would like just to give you a little bit of love to those sponsors. One of them is a locally owned coffee shop and a cafe with hand-blended drinks and award-winning baked goods. Visit them on the southwest corner of 7th Avenue and Heather Bray. It's called Copper Star Coffee with incredible homemade bagels.
Absolutely. Copper Star, wonderful. Get over there, and on Saturdays and Sundays, you should prepare for a wait for your food, and you should wait because it is worth it. Meanwhile, back underway we go. After all that was sorted out, Meanwhile, as I was going to say, getting out of the pack now, taking over after that star pass, that's Zora La Bruja.
All right,
taking
Bruja, let's
over.
go. Lead
That's
jammer.
Zora taking over as jammer for the Bombshells. Now trying to get clear around the outside. We got a double star pass. Taking over as jammer for the Valkyries is Mimi Mahler. So, number 30, Zora La Bruja now trying to get clear. Calls it off after getting blocked to the track. Excellent block there in the middle of the turn by Scherls, one of our defensive specialists in the league.
If you had a slow motion camera, the faces, oh my goodness.
Yeah, our trackside photographers who by the way, if you see somebody scurrying around inside that yellow line, they are likely a photographer and are supposed to be there. But you see our photographers, you should follow our photographers online, and if you have any questions, just ask them for their names online. Meanwhile, up on the jammer line now, after the Bombshells put 4 points on the board.
All right, here we go. We're going to grab some points. Let's go, Doomsday Jammer. Can they get past the pack and grab those points? Doomsday fans, make some noise. The Jammer just got around the pack. Here we go, calls it off. Let's see how many points we got on that match. Four points for Doomsday, 38-29.
And now, hey, you know, when somebody comes up here and says they can't hear me, I'm like, well, then something must really be wrong because I never shut up.
Yeah, but
Yeah, right.
important for them
All
to
right,
hear
there we go. We
me.
fixed it. Anyway, yeah, something happened during the quarter break there. Sorry about that. Meanwhile, appreciate you covering for me for a moment while I figured out which one was the microphone. That is going to be Hannibal Lecture for the Bombshells this time. And then Hanny hands it forward. Just as I'm saying that, that is no longer Hannibal Lecture.
Oh, did you see that little tricky move? Let's go.
So
Let's
that's-
go. Grab those points. Boom, Bombshells, let's go.
That's Scarin Yeager taking over as jammer for the Bombshells now. And Invader Slim for the Valkyries out the front of the pack to try to keep this to one scoring pass for the new Bombshells jammer. So now we've got Yeager is going to weave and get pinned in behind a 3. Big block from behind by the former jammer, Hannibal Lecture. And teammates checking over their shoulders. Scarin Yeager tracking the movements of Invader Slim and calls off the jam.
Ooh, that was exciting.
I know, we are having a heck of a bout here, aren't we? Check on the score there. I'm expecting it to be... There we are.
Almost as exciting as fishing in the canal.
Almost. 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 But the thing about it is like when you're fishing in the canal, like you can bring things like, you know, your Tampico with your, when you put the Tampico in the 40, you know, you
can get anything.
Oh my God, yeah. I hear they frown on that. Honestly, Diet Mountain Dew, probably about it.
Oh my gosh, look at you do
Yeah,
have
no,
that.
exactly, right? Got to keep hydrated, and it's basically just citrus flavored seltzer water that's kind of cloudy and has aspartame in it. Taking over as jammer for the Bombshells.
Ooh, Bombshells
This
switched
Dolly's
to
partner, and
Panty.
all of a sudden everybody is just really loving to pass that star cover, and it's
jump.
helped for the Bombshells now in a couple of straight jams. Meanwhile, getting out is Muerta. Muerta is. What do we have here? Yeah, there's a helmet cover down there. The pivot, that's the bomb. No, it's not her either. Yes, it is. Sorry, we had a helmet cover down. This Bombshells pivot. Bombshells pivot cover is on the track.
Oh, the panty cover was on the track. What does that mean?
Well, I honestly don't know what it means if a pivot loses their stripe, but nothing. There we go.
It means
They can't take
nothing.
over as the jammer. That's all. Yeah, there you go.
We call that drag droppings. You got a little drag dropping.
But the question was, everybody panicked because there was a star cover on the track and trying to figure out if, right, exactly. So Dolly's came off when the star cover went on.
Oh, okay.
All right, a lot of explanation. Anyway, so there was 5 points for the Valkyries and 3 for the Bombshells. And all of the confusion, I failed to notice that there was a lead switch, and both teams got points. So the lead has stayed roughly the same. We're down to, again, under 6 minutes to go until halftime.
Right. Doomsday Jammer out in the front.
That's right. That's Invader
Coming around corner
Slim.
3.
Invader Slim out once. Excuse me. I'm sorry. It's NC Jammer. I apologize. Invader Slim is quite a bit taller. Meanwhile, there's NC up to the back of the pack.
The defense is moving at a very slow pace. Trying to stop that Jammer from getting through. Can they stop her?
Yeah, the jammer for the Bombshells is still pinned in. That's going to be Slappy Go Lucky, who is now going to line up to play jammer defense and basically line up at the back of the pack to play defense with Scarin Yeager at the back of the pack.
Now you have more people on defense.
Exactly. That is exactly what they ended up doing there.
To stop the points, right?
And it worked. And it worked because the Valkyries only got 2 points.
2 points?
They did.
I see
And then
that,
the Valkyries
man.
jammer called it off and said, wiser to try another day. So that worked That's what you want when you get jammer defense, is for the other team to go, oh, that's not worth it now. So there you go. That's how you deploy things. Look at you. Look at you.
And you
Nasset Derby coach.
And you gotta just make that split decision as a team.
Exactly, right. There you go. It's so fast. It's like I said, it really is. It's akin to hockey or football. And hockey's on skates and roller derby's on
Bombshell
wheels.
Skid
It
Vicious
really
out in
is.
front as the lead jammer.
Your jammer, that's Skid Vicious, your lead jammer for the Bombshells. Bombshells down 10 at the moment. It's the Valkyries' biggest lead was 20 to nothing. The
Patty
Valkyries'
switched.
biggest lead in a little bit.
Yeah, I was just, yes.
Skid backs through the pack and gets, checking on that, all 4 of those points.
4 points to the Bombshells.
All right, there's going to be about 4 minutes to go until halftime when this jam gets underway. It's a 6-point lead for the Valkyries right now, 45-39.
Did we mention that the food court is open?
Oh, we did. The food trucks are here. We definitely wanted to mention we've got Ziki Food Truck. They're voted the best gyro in town, so get out there and get some Greek and Mediterranean food tonight. We also have Muff Waffles. The tastiest treats around. So they've got whipped creams, there's stuffed waffles,
Oh, my
vegan,
goodness.
gluten, dairy-free, also allergy inclusive. That's what we got tonight.
Oh, my
Wanted to get to that.
gosh.
Heck, we haven't had a split second, but yeah. We've got a Mediterranean and Greek truck, and we've got stuffed waffles. So
We're people inclusive and we're food inclusive. I
it
love
sounds
that.
like, yeah. All right, meanwhile, back to the action. That is going to be a power, no, it is not. That is Slappy-Go-Lucky for the Bombshells. NC Jammer is now out of the pack for the Valkyries. Sorry, I was thinking about stuffed waffles and it distracted me because I like food a lot. You see, once again, now the Bombshells have decided to play Jammer defense with NC Jammer getting out. And this, again, that's a total strategic decision because it's not like their strategies so far haven't worked. The game is, of course, within a jam at this point, as we say. But again, this time we'll check on it. Valkyries. That time the Valkyries do get all 5 on the board. So that time the Valkyries still get all 4 plus the added Jammer point. So that is the possible downside to playing Jammer defense, is that you can also have that Jammer get a point scored. We have seen a challenge flag. Infidel Castro.
Whoa.
Infidel Castro,
gotta
coach
make it
of the
official.
Valkyries.
We got to make it official.
So we're going to have to see what it is here. We will find out in a bit what it is, and we will find out what the result is. You see each assistant coach coming out now. That's Tornado Alley and Dahlia Murder joining Infidel Castro. So we'll get back to that in a moment. This challenge process takes a couple of minutes while everybody talks it over. So we're going to knock out a whole lot of sponsor time, yeah?
We sure will.
I'm excited.
I just want to take some time and thank so many of our rookies. Thank the rookies. If you see them, they're incredible to our league.
That's right. Thank the rookies who run around here. No, I mean, seriously, let's get a round of applause for our rookies that helped this bout go. A lot of our bout production staff is our league rookies.
One of our wonderful booths out front is the Psychic of Levine. Please, for spiritual and guidance, incense, sage, crystals, and candles, and palm readings, go see Psychic of Levine.
And we've also got For the Love of Dogs. They offer natural pet treats, cute accessories from toys to t-shirts, and they can custom embroider as well. So you check out them out in front as well.
Let's not forget Fluff Pillow Creations, handcrafted pillows, handcrafted pillowcases, handcrafted wearable tank tops, t-shirts, garments, and all kinds of pants and shorts.
That is our wonderful people out front. Don't forget, we've got our AZDD photo booth is open in the vendor area, so you can. What did Suki say it was called? Step and release, step and repeat,
Step and relieve.
step and.
Step, I don't know.
I don't know. It's step. I forget. No, step and release. I'm confusing that with trap, neuter, release. That is not what Suki said to do.
No.
Anyway, yeah. Anyhow, it is a photo booth at which you walk up and you take a picture and post it on the. Hey, look at Suki.
Hi, Suki.
Hey.
It's definitely not step and release.
No.
What is it?
Step and repeat.
Step and repeat.
repeat.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hey, great. See, it's great when you name drop
Oh,
somebody and
step
they
and
run over and
repeat.
correct you live on the air.
Yes. Step and move on. Keep going. Okay, I love that.
There you go. Anyway, so
See,
that's
what
yeah. There we go. What do you know about that?
This is
I love it. I love that
breaking
Suki
news.
sprint. Of course, Suki is the parent of Scary Yeager on the Bombshells. So of course Suki is here and wearing Bombshells black. The challenge has wrapped up. I'm glad we got a chance to get to some of our sponsors. We'll give them more love too during halftime, during the second half. Make sure you check them out this evening, especially during intermission. That's a golden opportunity. You got 30 minutes between bouts.
Don't forget there's also another bout after this, so please stay and support the other teams. It has been a challenge. We're waiting for the call.
All right, we're checking in on that.
The challenge has been upheld.
Coaches are all square.
Tell me more.
It was a points challenge by the Valkyries,
And the points were upheld.
and the points
so
were
no
upheld.
changes.
So no change in the
They
points.
lose
Right.
their challenge though.
Right, exactly. They lose their first half challenge now, so they don't have another challenge for the next 2:31, and then they'll get that challenge back for the second half. So score remains 50-39 after the Valkyries challenge and their 5-point score in that jam. We have now at the jammer line, that's going to be Skid Vicious for the Bombshells and Muerta for the Valkyrie.
About 2:30 before halftime.
Yeah, we're closing in fast once again. The challenge kind of slowed things down and gave us a chance to talk about some sponsors for a second, which I love. We love our sponsors. My goodness. Skid down to the inside and fights on through. And then Skid, let's see, I was going to say Skid now weaving around, catching up to the pack, looking for an opening, waiting for the blocking to line up, and then the Valkyries are right there to block Skid, kind of route Skid off the track. Your jammer for the Valkyries is fighting to get clear. We have a star.
All right.
Skid is out for the Bombshells. I started to say star stash or star pass.
Vicious?
I don't know which Valkyrie has the star in their hand
That's
at the
number
moment, but it
55.
doesn't matter because Skid Vicious is out. And once again, now coming around for a second scoring pass for the Bombshells with 4 seconds left in the jam, is now going to get knocked down. An excellent block by Nikki Badass, just kind of using her back end to just reroute Skid down to the infield. So we'll check on the score there. That's going to be a good one for the Bombshells as we get to the later parts. And we got another timeout. So it's a team timeout by the Bombshells now to conserve a little bit of time here heading into the second half. I would say perhaps to ride some momentum. I don't know. I'm not down on the bench, and I'm not Rough Rider or Tornado Alley.
Listen, we're not coaches. We're
No.
just announcing over
No,
here.
right. I just talk with my face words. I don't do the coachy coach.
I don't. Hey, your decision is your decision.
Yeah, whatever you want to do. Anyway, meanwhile, 50-46 now after those 7 points for the Bombshells. We'll let you know also. Go ahead. Yeah, you take this one away.
I just want to thank the Derby so much because we are benefiting a really great local organization called Your Big Break. Founder Edward Michaels should be here. It's a 501c3 to help and empower entertainers and also those in the drag community, straight community, anybody with talent. So we love the arts. So thank you so much for supporting the arts.
Hey, let's get a wave down there. Let's get a round of applause for another volunteer set down on the infield. This is going to be our volunteer medics.
Hey,
This is
medics.
Nacho Mama and Just Nathan, please.
Hey, Nacho Mama.
Nacho Mama and Just Nathan, please, are our medics this evening in the
Thank
first
you.
bout, and then later on it's going to be Nacho and or is it Nathan and Jace right now? There we got a wave.
Hey,
Thank you. I wasn't
Nathan.
getting a wave because I wasn't right. Sorry. Currently it's Jace and Just Nathan, please, are our two medics. We got to tell you more in a second. This is currently NC Jammer and Scaren Jaeger after the team timeout. So I got so sidetracked trying to figure out
it's
who's
a
down
power
there.
jam.
No, it is not. We
Oh,
got
okay.
Jaeger's out there with the
One?
black helmet
Okay,
cover
okay,
and the
okay.
red star.
Got you.
Yeah. It'll throw you when their helmets are also black. Meanwhile, Jaeger spun down to the inside. Excellent block by Mimi Mahler. 36 seconds left in the jam. There's enough time for another jam no matter what happens in this one. Jaeger quickly to the front of the pack and is going to kind of twist
Ooh, look
around
at
and
that
stay on the track.
twisty.
Nice,
Okay,
right?
come
It's
on,
so cool
Doomsday.
when it happens right in front of us here. Get a great view of it. So Jaeger's out. Jaeger's looking to at least tie the
Bombshells Jammer
game.
let's go, Bombshells
right
Jammer.
here.
Let's go, Doomsday Jammer.
So now we've got NC out for the Valkyries. Jaeger is just going to try to get the hips in front of NC. Wow. Jaeger tried to go to their knees and slide backwards to get the hip in front of NC Jammer and then called it off. Did it work?
Oh,
Did it work?
I don't know. You can't score from the ground. I thought that's a rule.
Wait. We got to wait for this. Did it work? It did not work.
Did not work,
It did
yes.
not work.
You
I
cannot
could
score
see
from
what
the ground.
happened. I could see what happened. Jaeger
Maybe,
tried
right?
to hit their knees, and instead of trying to get around Mimi, which is challenging,
Okay.
they hit their knees and tried to spin butt first like a fishtailing semi-truck.
And no
and
points.
it didn't work because they didn't get their hip around before their hands hit their hips.
So it's okay if they're on the ground.
It could work. It just
Okay.
wasn't quite timed right, and now somebody else is going to try it.
Let's try it again.
So
Pretend
now
that
we have
didn't
another
happen.
challenge while we were looking at that. Oh, no, there we are. Now the Bombshells. Is this a Bombshells challenge? It's a points challenge. The Bombshells are challenging that point.
We got the slow motion.
So now the Bombshells are going to let the
replay.
regulators talk it over. I love it. I love that you could see that and you know exactly what it was. Like, oh, she's trying to back the trailer in.
Our live stream. Did you all see that? What do you all think?
Yeah, we got to get on that. I got to say now it's up to the challenge. So honestly, hit the chat right now. If you're watching us on the live stream, hit the chat right now. Let us know what you think. Point or no point, might as well.
Thank you for supporting the league online
That's right.
when you're not
anyway,
here in
about the
person.
medics, I got distracted by game action. How dare I?
Good Nathan, right?
We've got Just Nathan and we've got
Just
Jace.
Nathan. You better stand up and do it.
Oh, they waved. They waved. We're good.
Okay.
But what we wanted to say, though, is we are in need of volunteer medics.
Hey, how you
We've
doing?
got volunteer medics here. They have to have 2 of them on the infield in case anybody gets injured.
2.
You remember, I don't want to talk about it too much, but somebody got hurt at our last bout. We ended up calling off the end of the last bout. It does happen. It's a contact sport. We have to have volunteer medics here because it's a contact sport.
Right.
So we need 2 medics on staff, and we are low on volunteer medics. So if you
Will you
or
accept
somebody
nurses?
yeah, right. If you are a medic or somebody you know that could serve as a volunteer medic, we always say we hope our medics just get a really up close and personal seat of roller derby for 2 to 4 hours, depending on how many you want to work, and that's it. But if you know somebody that would think you think they would dig that, put them in touch with us. Come over here to the announcer's table. Again, anybody wearing a skate jersey, anybody that looks like they know what they're doing, ask them. And if they don't, they'll tell you to ask somebody else. And just keep striking until you hit,
And maybe you can write off your time on your taxes.
I mean, that's what they told the Yankees is just keep striking until you hit,
Just
but then they
keep-
never,
keep
too soon. Oh, no,
trying.
too soon, too soon, too soon,
You're
too
gonna get
soon.
booed there.
Too soon. I dropped the ball on that one like, no. Ooh. I'm awful. I'm horrendous. I'm sorry. I'm an equal opportunity hater. Honestly, I hate all sports teams because I love sports so
I'm
much.
telling you, you're a drag queen. That's a drag queen thing. We hate on everyone equally, and it's like,
All
but
right,
we do
our
with
challenge
love.
has wrapped up. It is a points challenge. We are going to wait to find out, do we have a tie game or don't we?
Woo, come on. I'm so
here comes
nervous.
Lucy and Streak have the words, so let's see what we got from Streak.
I'm so nervous.
No point. Challenge unsuccessful. Bombshells fans groan and Valkyries fans, yeah. Oh my God, that wasn't a command. It was like an esoteric observation. Like Bombshells fans were so disappointed. A groan rose. Wasn't commanding you to groan. I'm sorry.
They shook their
I
glitter
have such
fists
power.
in the
Why would they
air.
give me a microphone and amplify this voice? People obey it apparently.
Oh, can we just do like an audience check-in? If you're a Bombshell fan, make some noise right now. Ooh, we have 1 second. That's enough for one play.
Yeah, exactly. So the clock expired during the process of issuing the challenge. 1 second.
Okay.
You'll have to bear with us.
This 1 second can be so many, can happen. So many things can happen. So, it's important. Oh, give it up for our incredible technology
There we
humans
go.
over
Yeah,
here.
so we had to get the scoreboard to cooperate with us. We were just about to bail. We heard the lollipop on the infield say, let's use the stopwatch, because that's totally a thing you can do, but we did get the scoreboard to cooperate. Back to the track they go. We've got one more jam. So anyway, yeah, I was going to say, backing in the trailer did not work. I would say it could work. It was just a timing issue. So interesting. Interesting, though. I always like when I see something that I haven't seen in 8 years of announcing roller derby. We are back to it then. It's a 1-point lead for the Valkyries. This is, in fact, the last jam of the second quarter. Last jam of the second quarter heading into halftime. We've got, we'll get that, don't worry, we'll get that sorted out during the half. It's just, the important thing is the clock is running.
This is the
Hurricane
last
May is your
play.
lead jammer.
Doomsday fans, make some noise!
That's right, Dolly Spartan right out behind. These are two of probably our 10 fastest skaters in the league, I'd say. Honestly, really, I mean, and now May is going to catch up, and May is going to signal it off. Excellent strategy there by the
Great,
Bombshells, and
great.
hands in the air by Mads, and
What
hands
a-
in the air by Swifty as they applaud themselves for playing keep away from a very swift skater. And we head into the halftime break.
What an
We
incredible
head into the
half.
halftime break.
Oh my goodness, y'all loving that? Make
That
some
is
noise.
right. Right now, your score, Valkyries 50, Bombshells 49. We're going to take our halftime break. We are going to take our halftime break right now with your entertainment coming our way. Teams are going to depart momentarily, and then we'll switch benches. Let me get it over to Gabagoo.
All right, I'm gonna come out here. By the way, hi, how are you? What's your name?
Razor Cat.
Hey, Race Cab. You look beautiful. Hi, hello. Hi. I'm coming out to talk to you all. Is that okay? Everyone say yes, Gaba. Let's try it again. Everyone say yes, Gaba. All right, we're going to do a little bit of warm-up, and then we're going to get a performer, okay? We got to let them leave. Thank you so much, teams. Y'all are incredible. Give them a round of applause again. Come on, round of applause. Hey, babies. Hey, babies. Let's go. Go, team, go. So something that's really interesting is I believe that you are the most talented audiences we have that we've had all day. You're the first audience. So I want to do. Oh, can I come? Okay, yeah. I want to do this like vibration check, okay? Which basically means I'm gonna run back and forth, and when I come past you, you got to get nice and loud, as loud as you can. And if you're not loud, then guess what? Your Christmas is gonna be a bah humbug. And don't let it be a bah humbug. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So this side, I feel like you're the loudest. I want you to start first. Oh yes. Okay. Thanks, Mom. I love you. Oh, grrr. Come on. So y'all make some noise, but give me a little. Okay, cool. So audience, when I run past you, make some noise, okay? Because we're gonna do a vibration check. Vibe check. Not a single mouth was closed. I love that. Thank you so much. We have a very special performance. I don't have my sheet. So you want to perform? Okay. Just kidding. Very first, I consider them one of the very first Pride winners, Central Arizona Pride. I was told today was like 2000, so you're in for a treat. Let's just say that. So our artist that is coming to the stage, I want you all to get nice and loud like you just did when we did the vibe check. It's their first time here at the Derby. Get nice and loud for Byron Lord. Also, it's an interactive tipping experience, okay? Hey, Byron, will you collect your dollars? If you got some dollars, wave them around like you just don't care. Okay, we got dollars down here, Byron. Okay, hey, dollars. Oh. Hey, I'm gonna perform at the third quarter, and my wig might sweat off, so you might be in for a really fun time. If you see my wig fall off, no, you didn't. Okay. Did y'all love Byron as much as I did? It is an honor. Thank you for being here. Deshauna Renee Rose was here earlier. I think y'all are having fun, right? Make some noise if you're having fun. Oh, okay. I love that. Hey, fun. If you're of the adult size, you're welcome to come to Boycott tonight. It's on 7th Avenue by Camelback. We accept everyone at my show. It's called Talk of the Town. Obviously, I'm the talk, and it is the town. And we just really have a really fun time. And then afterwards, it's a dance party. Hey, top 40 Latin. But mainly, it's my 15th anniversary. So I'm going to teach you. Yes, you are all honorary drag performers. So I'm going to teach you a couple things not to do, okay? Number 1, in drag. Make sure you pin your wig down, okay? Ladies, theys, pin your wig down. Don't get crazy at work trying to whip it around in your office cubicle, and then your wig falls off and you don't look cute anymore, okay? I'm just telling you. It can be any wig. You just got to stay on, you know? Tip number 2. Don't fight people, okay? Don't fight them. You don't need to. You're a drag queen. You're like in heels. I'm like 6'3". I'm intimidating. Hey. Intimidating to your bank account. Hey. Just kidding. You can take a drag queen to work if you want. I'll come into your work and be like, I'll sit down at your cubicle. Why does everyone here work at a cubicle? I'll come to your home office. I'll call all your people. Okay, we're done. Okay. Thank you for being here. Thank you for. Oh my gosh, what's happening? Okay, I'm taking 5s. Oh. Oh wait, 5 for a picture? Okay. Okay, be honest. Do you think my wig line is too far back?
A little bit.
Okay. It's sweating.
Just a tad.
It's sweating off. All right. You get what I give you, okay? Anybody you want to be a drag queen today? Okay, you're looking away like don't make eye contact. I love that.
All right, Derby fans, you do see. Give me 1 second. This mic's still just a little hot. My P's are popping and my T's are also popping. 1 second.
One moment in time. One moment in time.
All right, we're back. All right, yeah, no, we've got about a minute to go here until the beginning of the third quarter. Listen, Derby fans, I'm going to tell you, if you are, once again, like just a show of hands or a cheer, who's at their first bout? Yeah, anybody?
Make some noise.
First bout,
Don't
first
show
bout?
me.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
hey, first timers.
Y'all having a good time so far? How's it going? You enjoying it? Yeah, you picked a good one. It is basically tied at halftime, and I don't know if you know anything about any kind of competition, whether it's sports or whatever, you know, mathletics. I mean, I didn't play any kind of sports growing up because my leg was dumb. So I did things like that. And yeah, basically, if it's tied at the middle of the competition, you know it's a good competition. So yes.
I'm not here to brag, but I played baseball.
Hey.
And on Monday nights, I play in Arizona Gay Volleyball League, and my team is #1 right now.
There we are. Nice. Is it like indoor or beach?
It's beach. Well, if you want to consider Indian Steel Park beach.
Hey, you know what? We have a Tempe Beach Park, right? We don't care. We're Arizona. We'll make anything a beach.
Our backyard's a beach.
Technically speaking, this entire place was the bottom of a lake. I think anything's a beach. Nah.
Yeah, waterfront property. Man.
Yeah, right. All right, we are back to it. We've got 15 minutes on the clock. We have a 1-point game, 50-49. And starting things off in the third quarter in the second half is going to be Invader Slim for the Valkyries, Slappy Go Lucky for the Bombshells. Lining up on the line there. We'll tell you a little bit more about this matchup and all the other former minor assault skaters that are out there after this jam, I think. It'd be a good time to talk about that, Slappy Go Lucky, etc. Not Slim, but Slappy, I should say. Meanwhile, Slappy almost through. Wow, almost. I heard a cheer from a Bombshells diehard down here, and then Slappy got knocked down, took a knee on the infield. So right back to square one, neither jammer clear. 20 seconds into the second half. Big tumble. There we go. Big, oh, wow. Jammer down for the Valkyries was Slim, but back up. Slappy to the front of the pack and is going to run squarely into Blair Bitch and Mimi Mahler and then get run off to the infield and has a skate go out from underneath him. Wowzerino, that's one of those dangerous ones, and I am glad they are all right. Meanwhile, Slim has popped the star off. I think that happened long enough now that we're not giving anything away. Both still in. There's 10 seconds left, and we're reaching that point where it's immaterial who gets out, but since nobody has, nobody can call it off. Meanwhile, that was Pretty Hurt Machine who took the star and was trying to get clear, and Scary Jaeger said, even though it's a completely academic point, I will not let you out of the pack, and Scary Jaeger delivered a shoulder, and nobody got out, so we had no lead jammer, so 60 seconds of action and no change in the score. And we currently have no jammers out there whatsoever, so I'm going to guess what I'm not going to guess.
They're thirsty for the win.
We have a power jam for the Bombshells.
Oh, power jam!
Well then, and what happened is you saw down there Pretty Hurt Machine picking up a penalty as the jammer, even though she only took over the jammer star for a few seconds. That's the danger of a star pass, is it doubles your chances at giving up a power jam, and that's what we have here. Meanwhile, Skid to the front of the pack, dealing with the Valkyries defense now. That's Nikki Badass. I see Hurricane May. And also at the very front of the pack now, that is going to be NC Jammer and your fourth blocker, Mimi Mahler, which is to be expected. They're going to form at the front of the pack. You've got a 3-member phalanx up there, given a number 3 sign, and then you've got Scary Jaeger back up now, just kind of trying to run into the pack. Now, the Bombshells only have 2 blockers, as you see. So that makes it really hard for them to get their jammer out, and essentially that's why you're looking at a little carousel of 4 Valkyries defenders and 3 Bombshells blockers not being able to do much. Mimi Mahler drifts back and knocks Skid Vicious off the track, kind of just for funsies, then does it again, more or less just to prove a point at this point, and the clock's going to expire. Look at that. To be fair, the Bombshells did only have 2 blockers, but that is a defensive stand for the Doomsday Valkyries, and you should cheer for that if you're a Valkyries fan, because it's not all about points. Points sell tickets, defense wins championships.
Defense.
We're on the jammer line now. I should say defense and special teams wins championships, to be fair. If your power jam sucks, you're not going to win any championships either. Oh, yeah, coaching. Yep, yeah. Yeah, you have to have a good everything to win a championship, to be fair. I think pretty much, yeah. I think that's how it works. Meanwhile, you got Slappy Go Lucky. I'm Slappy. Slappy Go Lucky is out there for the Bombshells. And your jammer for the Valkyries is trying to get around the outside. Who it is as yet a mystery. Not sure who it is still. They're trapped behind a wall of blockers. Muerta, so it is, spinning around there. So again, defense is the order of the day. We are 3.5 minutes into the second half, and nobody has scored. And there's a high probability that nobody is going to score on this jam. I mean to tell you that this is fascinating defense.
Ooh, goes down hard.
Big block down to the inside. Remy Ruckus giving it all up along the inside, and everybody tumbling down to the infield, including Muerta, the Valkyries jammer. Nobody's going to get out, and we're going to burn another full jam off the clock. We are going to be at gall darn near 10:30 to go in the quarter, and nobody has scored yet. when this next jam starts. This is crazy defense. I can see Al annihilate you from here, or else I'd say something like, Al annihilate you must be dancing around at home watching the live stream.
Exactly.
I know, right? I mean, this is a defensive stalwart's dream, trust me. Grinding in the trenches, this is the kind of game after which your whole offensive line is muddy and your quarterback is clean. I love these games. Hurricane May is your jammer for the Valkyries, and now around the outside with a big running stride goes Strange. Now we got Hurricane May out as well, and we got ourselves our first genuine jammer race of the night. Strange is going to be out to the front. Hurricane May is going to keep in behind. I say Strange is one of the 10 fastest as well. Strange is going to barrel in around to the outside and tries to get those Valkyries blockers, calls it off. Hurricane May puts 2 fingers up in the air, as every pursuing jammer since the beginning of time has ever done. And the regulators do not agree. The regulators do not award a point. But with those 2 points, the Bombshells take the lead 51-50.
Oh, we got gift cards or what? What's that? We got gift cards or what? Oh, that's a silent auction. Oh.
We are back to it. We've got 2 points on the board now. We're at an average of 1 point every 2.5 minutes. It's going to be Scary Jaeger for the Bombshells, and your jammer for the Valkyries. Buried in the pack is NC Jammer. Everybody kind of spinning around. Again, these 2 teams came out of halftime, and apparently their coaches fed them a whole lot of defense powder. Jaeger around, spins around. Hurt, who's trying to block, and now Jaeger up to the front of the pack to deal with Mimi as a blocker, and now getting out once again goes NC. Scary Jaeger out right behind as well. So once again, we're going to have a race back to the pack. Now NC barreling back to the pack is going to try to get these points at the back of the pack. Gets the point for Gold Digger and calls it off.
I see that because the Bombshell Jammer was on their
I know.
skates. Okay.
Look at this. Look at this. We once again, now another 2 points for the Valkyries getting that one. Ghost point at the back of the pack. Valkyries jump in front 52-51.
Oh, by 1 point. Y'all came to a great match today.
Oh, man. We got to tell you all about the silent auction. We haven't even had a second to yet. Holy heck.
We haven't been silent at this whole match.
We have not been silent. Right. I know. The auction has probably not had any bets because I haven't stopped talking. Yikes. Muerta is at the front of the pack for the Valkyries. It's Dolly Spartan for the Bombshells, and Dolly is quickly to the front. Now, once again, trying to deal with that Valkyries defense at the front of the pack, and is able to get around. And Dolly Spartan out and clear for the Bombshells. I take a moment to moisten my lips and continue talking. There goes Muerta, trying to find a way through, getting blocked down to the inside. And Dolly's up to the front of the pack and is fighting to get through and is able to get through. Clutch Cannon and Hurricane May were down there, and now there goes Muerta taking off as well. We'll try to keep this to one more scoring attempt for Dolly Spartan, but the Valkyries are they're together at the front of the pack, trying to keep their skaters out of the way. Dolly gets mid-pack, calls it off. Muerta hot on the pursuit. Let's check on the infield.
Infield, how we doing?
Let's check on the infield. What do we got? We got no points for the Valkyries. It's 7 points for the Bombshells. Bombshells are now jump back in front 58-52, and we're right back to it. I barely got time to introduce the next jammers.
Hot potato with those points. Back and forth, back and forth.
That's going to be Hannibal Lecture for the Bombshells, and your jammer for the Valkyries is Invader Slim. Invader Slim quickly with the star off. You hear the call go up from the bench, and then bouncing to the inside once again goes Hannibal Lecture.
Bombshells coming around that third corner. Can they come up to the pack and grab some points?
Still right now, the star is still in transition there in the back straight, and now getting free and taking over his jammer is Pretty Hurt Machine once again. Some blocking on the front end now from Mad Sin.
And Bombshells call it off.
Absolutely. Hannibal Lecture gets in there mid-pack and calls it off. I'm going to check on the score from the infield here. Whatever it is, it's going to be the Bombshells' largest lead of the night. 3 points. Bombshells up now 61-52. And it is, as I said, the Bombshells' largest lead of the evening. Valkyries were up 20-0 to start things off, and then things got even quickly. And we're looking this time at Strange for the Bombshells. Strange is out clear once again. Bombshells' third straight lead jam.
Strange is low to the ground, grabbing that speeder on corner 2, and breaks through the pack, grabbing those points.
Hurricane May takes off for the Valkyries. Strange is going to watch, keep watching, calls it off.
Watch.
Right? action's going to keep on continuing. That's Bank Track Roller Derby, man. 60 seconds, 30 seconds max in between, rocking on down. We are at 65-52. That's the Bombshells in front at the moment, and in front now by 13 points. We've got Slappy Go Lucky for the Bombshells. That once again is going to be NC Jammer for the Valkyries. Tightly bunched back this time. Slappy to the outside, gets pinned to the rail by Mimi Mahler. So now at the front of the pack, squeezing past. Now we've got lead jam for the Valkyries, trying to put an end to that streak of lead jams for the Bombshells as NC Jammer. Meanwhile, there's a block in the back in the turn there. Slappy is going to get to the front of the pack and gets pinned by Mimi Mahler. Meanwhile, NC to the inside and dodges a sliding block by Hannibal Lecture. So NC is through. There's 23 seconds left in the jam. Slappy Go Lucky knocked to the track but is able to go on by as the blocker also came off the track. So now we are more or less solely, watch Slappy moving slow at the back of the pack. I will point that out, absent of any other observation. And we are now seeing at the front, that's NC Jammer calling it off. Well, keep an eye on Slappy Go Lucky and see, yeah, kind of hands on knees going back to the bench. So one of those blocks really took the starch out of the sails. That really could honestly be a big strategic loss for the Bombshells if Slappy has to sit out for any length of time. Slappy's been one of their most successful jammers so far by far. We have got an official team timeout. Yeah, I got you. Don't worry. No, no, I know. Freya's not here. You got to keep me in line. I know. Don't worry. Meanwhile, that ended up being 9 points for the Valkyries. We got Bombshell 65, Valkyries 61 with 4:29 to go in the third quarter. Meanwhile, let's tell you about the food trucks one more time. So you can go out and get some food during quarter break, or afterwards, you can also get some during intermission as well.
Come on down to the Muff Waffle Town. We have vegan and gluten-free options for, did I say it right? Okay. I love it. For anybody, gluten-free and vegan options. I love that. And anybody who's down, you better come out there. You better eat it. They got corn dogs. They're family friendly. They're local. Okay. If you like waffles, get over there and have some. Have two. And I will have one after my performance if you buy me one.
Yeah, I honestly might break my rule about eating during bouts. It's my own rule, and nobody ever told me I couldn't. I always say it's just because I'd sit here and hiccup all the second bout, but boy, those stuffed waffles are starting to sound awful good.
That's not
good. And don't forget, our other food truck outside is Ziki Food Truck, voted best Euro in Phoenix. Go order some fresh Greek and Mediterranean food as well. That's our food truck options. You make sure you get out there and hit them. I still owe you a read about the silent auction, but the action just won't stop, and it is now a power jam for the Valkyries. It is Nikki Badass is out there to jam for the first time for the Valkyries tonight. Wow, huge advantage for the Valkyries. I didn't even see that the
Valkyrie
Bombshells
fans, turn them on.
That's right.
Turn
the
on
Valkyries fans are going to be up on this. The Bombshells took that timeout.
Come on, Doomsday with the power jam.
So here comes Nikki. Nikki's first season with the Valkyries. Spent last season coaching the Brides and then decided to put the skates back on this year. Nikki gets through on a scoring pass, and we're coming around again now, 30 seconds. This is a very, so far, Valkyrie's first power jam of the night. First time Nikki has jammed. So I would say it's pretty easy to tell that they've been saving Nikki for a power jam. Nikki, meanwhile, spins off the track and is going to run into Mads. Gets a couple of blocks and now gets up to running through. Mimi Mahler was there as an escort to keep that last blocker honest for the Bombshells. There's 7 seconds left. Nikki now making tracks, trying to get back around to the pack for another scoring pass. Up to the high side, Mads with the block at the back of the pack. What a block by Mads as hell at the back of the pack. Wow, well-timed, absorbed all the contact and slowed Nikki down. Undoubtedly saved points for her team there. Ends up being 14 for the Valkyries, but again, what a block by Mads. A direct effect on saving, 13 for the Valkyries. 14. I was going to say, there we are, 14. We're good. We are good. I'm not allowed to say it till I see the fingers, and I thought I heard the fingers right. Anyway, gotcha, GT. We are on 75-65. The Valkyries have jumped back in front after that power jam. That was the biggest single jam so far in the game. It was a nearly 3 scoring pass power jam for the Valkyries, and that has been a huge flip-flop. They were down 9 points about 2.5 minutes ago. They're now up 10 points in less time than it takes to nuke a Hot Pocket. Meanwhile, we've got 2 jammers out, and we've got another jammer race again. NC Jammer out quick. Had to kind of slow up a little coming out of the turn and hold balance. Scaring the Jaeger. All the Jammer races tonight have been super fast. NC rips to the inside. Calls it off, catching up to the front of the pack. NC is going to get at least a couple of points down there. Here a timeout coming in. We'll wait for the official whistle and signal, of course, because I would never step on Freya's toes. We got a team timeout. Okay. Team timeout orange team is sent down to us. So we are going to take a breather for the Valkyries to talk this over. There ended up being points for both sides on that jam. And as we always say, that's why you never give up on the pursuit. Ended up being 4 points for the Valkyries and 2 for the Bombshells. So I'm going to catch my breath. And Gabagool is going to tell you about some more of our lovely sponsors.
Yes, I want to talk to you about Siphon Draw. They're an all-natural, non-toxic hand skin care company made our very own Dali de los Muertos. Please visit SIPHON, siphondraw.com for the incredible products. Let's not forget Tucci's Touch Massage specializes in deep tissue, trigger point, and many more options for your mental and well-being.
Hey friends, we have a silent auction tonight. You know, usually we have our merch grab or we have our merch raffle, things like that. Tonight it's a silent auction. We would love for you to get down there during, quarter break, intermission, halftime of the second bout. It is right down there, right where you came in. Head on down there for details about it. And then we've got a Lost Dutchman tattoo, $350 gift certificate to Lost Dutchman, you know, like we usually give away in our raffles. We've got a Pip Coffee and Clay package, 2 for 2. It is $200. It is a fantastic coffee experience for 2 people with many items. We've got a haircut at Switchblade Salon, a $75 value, and a Raya Riot tattoo as well, a $300 value. Get down there and check out that silent auction. We're going to tout that several more times. Of course, it is to benefit our lovely league. We are back to the action. Valkyries once again up by 2. Strange is out there for the Bombshells, and Strange is your lead jammer. Invader Slim is the jammer for the Valkyries, who I just saw get personally escorted the infield by Skid Vicious. Meanwhile, weaving through his, what a block. Wow, block at the front end there by those 2 defenders. Strange gets right back up and goes right back to it. Another big hit there with Juicy Couture taking a tumble. Strange is going to call it off. Wow, Strange took a hard hit, jumped up, and was right back trying to get through that line. That is quick recovery from contact. We've got 3 points for the Bombshells, so 79-70. The Valkyries are in front by 9 with about a minute to go in the third quarter. Hurricane May for the Valkyries. Scaring Jaeger for the Bombshells. The jammers having a great time talking to each other before the jam starts. Look, I'm not going to lie and say that everybody loves everybody, but the majority of everybody loves the majority of everybody, trust me. There's not a lot of bad blood here, and you see things like that. Such as, for example, our 2 jammers getting out, and then Hurricane May grinning over her shoulder at Scaring Jaeger as she took off. May crashes into a blocker. We are there. May hits the rail. May, you dropped something. May, you lost a wheel. May knows. Hurricane May just straight up lost an entire truck off her skates. How hard she hit the rail there. She hit the rail and knocked an entire set of wheels off her skates. So let's go ahead and check for debris. And let's take 1 second. We're heading down here. Somebody's got to check on something. 1 second. Get quiet for a points talk. And we're just taking a moment. Streak went down to Streak went down to. All right, we are back on it. We had to check. So, no points for the Valkyries was the final word after that. So, honestly, look at that. Hurricane May did not get a point. And on the pursuit, you got a point from your Bombshells jammers. Like I say, kids, finish your blocks, skate till the whistle, and follow through on your three-pointers. I don't remember what the third one I
The
usually
third one
say
is bring an extra pair of skates.
There you go, right. Yes.
Backup,
I thought you were gonna
emergency
say bring an
skate.
extra pair of underwear, which is always solid advice no matter what sport you're in. Anyway, meanwhile, back to the action, 79-71 with 37 seconds left until Gabagool time. Meanwhile, we've got NC Jammer, and we have NC Jammer, number 38. Skid Vicious is number 55. Now, both Jammers pinned in by respective defensive walls. Looking for an opening. Both of them still are. Collision. Matt is send down. And now NC again up to the high side. Now a succession of blockers for the Bombshells are going to get there. We still, once again, hard defense. Quarter clock's probably going to expire here since nobody's gotten out yet. And they're not going to in 5 seconds. So I'm going to say the quarter clock's going to expire. I know I'm bold to go out on a limb like that, but I like gambling. Hate fantasy football, though. Skid Vicious is spun to the inside. Tries to get through, and Skid does get through. Wow, Skid weaved through a very small opening. Out for the Bombshells and is making her way around. There are 7 seconds left in the jam, and now the Valkyries are just going to form a solid wall, or at least one they hope is solid, to try to stop Skid. Skid gets around. Look at that move. Skid with a little pirouette. Puts a little okey doke on Pretty Hurt Machine, both of whom are veterans, so that's a
one skate point.
That was pretty,
I love that.
and not 1 point. Wait for the score.
Yeah, how many points?
3 points.
Okay.
Right. Got around 3 skaters with that. How is that?
Classic.
Meanwhile, so that is going to take us up to our third quarter break. It is 79-74. The Klaus bout continues. We are going to now step aside for your third quarter entertainment. I encourage you to stick around and watch us during this quarter break. Let me announce you. Hang on 1 second. Hang on. I gotta find Gabba's. I got you. Derby fans. Oh, yeah. Honestly, I'm not very good at running a drag show. I have to admit. I'm not very good at running a drag show. Derby fans, it is time for the award-winning show host who loves to keep things wild, nutty, and fruity. Gabagool is a comedian, change enthusiast, philanthropist, entrepreneur, and drag queen extraordinaire, as they say in France. It is now time for Gabagool. Don't forget to tip. Yeah, crank it up. There you go.
Yeah, they're like.
Come on, everybody. Get those hands up. I do not see nearly enough hands going together in a repetitive motion. That's right. I want to see at least a few people get up and jump around when, Who's going to do it? Who's going to jump around? Get out of your seat and jump around. Come on now. There we got some people. There we go. Look at that. We got some people that are here to jump up, and to perhaps get down eventually. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, see, they're receptive. Now this time, seriously, now get out your seat, jump around. Everybody now, or at least a few people. Not even the same one? All right, man, I cannot get the troops rallied. I'll tell you what. Yikes. Jump, 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 jump. Jump, jump, jump. I don't know if you got a look at these shoes, by the way, but look at these shoes. My goodness.
jump, 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 jump.
There we are. Let us hear it once again for Gabagool. That's right. Look up Gabagool on all of the social media if you want more. I mean, Gaba's all over the damn town, and hosting everything, this, that, and the other all the time.
Wherever I'm not banned, I'll go.
Exactly, right? And that's same for me, but that for me is QTs, unfortunately. So, because I mean, honestly, once you've evacuated a store of all of their roller grill food, they don't want you to come back. They're like, "This is not an all-you-can-eat buffet, sir." And I'm like, "Well, you should have specified that because I just bought all the food, so it's an all-I-can-eat buffet." Anyway, that's me and QT. Not that.
What time does the kitchen close at QT?
Never. That's right, never. The kitchen never closes at QT. You can always get a nice, hot and toasty buffalo chicken bite with cheese. Anyway. Free ad for QT, not a paid sponsor.
Thank you for having me. Did y'all love that?
Woo! I liked it. We had a couple people. One person got out of their seat and jumped around.
Yeah, that's my one fan that follows me. Biggest fan, actually.
That's your one plant. Oh, well, we're going to start this quarter with a challenge. Look at that. So the Bombshells are going to challenge something that happened at the end of the previous quarter. We will find out what in a moment. So, all right, right into the challenge we go. I was going to, yeah, there we are. Yeah, we're definitely going to find out what that was. So basically, that's going to give us a chance to talk about our sponsors and our silent auction. And, I mean, golly, the silent auction read is just right here somewhere. Man, oh, it was definitely on the back of something. I'll tell you what. There it is. Sorry, that's what happens when it's on the back of something, is I flip it over and now it's the front. I'm really sorry. Colette Razorcat is going to kick me squarely between the shoulder blades later on for this. Silent auction still going on. Once again, Derby fans, your $350 Lost Dutchman tattoo gift card is, instead of being there in the raffle, now it's at the silent auction tonight. So head on down there, and that's a $350 value for the Lost Dutchman tattoo gift card. We, of course, have a Riot tattoo by our very own skater within the league, our very own Tierney Murder Mitten, Skimble Shanks the Railway Cat, etc. we love our wonderful. Anyways, so moving on, we've got. Oh goodness me, I'm trying to read this here. There's a haircut at Switchblade Salon, which is a $75 value. Sorry, had to catch my place. And then we've got a dip coffee and clay. We have a clay package for two. It is a $200 value. It was explained to me that that's coffee-centric, but a wonderful, wonderful gift package. You can get more information on that down at the silent auction table, but the other three, as was explained to me by Razorcat, are pretty self-explanatory. So definitely avail yourself of the silent auction at some point before the end of the night. See what you can pick up. All right, we are back to it. So that was a challenge by the Bombshells trying to avert a power jam. There was a cut track penalty on the Bombshells jammer there in that last jam of the third quarter. So they challenged, and it was not successful. So we have a Valkyries power jam to open the fourth quarter. Let's hear it from the Valkyries fans.
This is the final quarter. Y'all make some noise.
It is the final quarter. It is the fourth of four. We've got Hurricane May once again is out there, and oh man, the Valkyries blockers came out almost with like an assigned helmet to put a hat on, as they say. And now May races around the outside. Excellent attempt at a block there on the end of that by Impaler Swift. A big tumble there. Mads Incognito goes down, and now here comes May on her first scoring attempt. We've got 34 seconds left in the power jam. Now the blockers are all watching. May has to go up against the front wall on her own. Now gets a helpful block from Nikki Badaz spinning in there. But so far, those blockers are out of play. There we are. Those 3 blockers for the Bombshells are now out of play, or were. And May gets through. May's got 14 seconds left on this power jam. May around now again for another scoring pass to the inside, and steps and does a one skate right through, gets by Dolly Spartan. Nikki Badaz trying to clear the way and gets by Dolly, and Hurricane May squeezes in another scoring pass. It's really fascinating, the ebbs and flows of roller derby. We had 4 straight jams with no points scored to come out of the halftime break, and then now in the last 4 jams we've had a 14, a 9, and a 10. So go figure all that, am I right? It's a 10-point power jam for the Doomsday Valkyries. And the Valkyries are now up 89-74. So, pretty good. We like to say 6 to 7 is kind of your break even. So a 10-point is not terrible. Could have been worse, honestly, as power jams go. So honestly, though, good power jam defense by the Bombshells. You'll remember that 14-point power jam. They were down 2 blockers as well. We've had a star pass. Mimi Mahler is going to take over as your jammer for the Valkyries. So now Mimi is taking over as jammer, and I see another star cover off. That's Slappy-Go-Lucky for the Bombshells, holding the cover in their hand. It gets knocked off to the infield as Mimi Mahler drives through the pack. Finishes off a scoring pass for the Doomsday Valkyries. Now we're looking down, and we're looking for the jammer for the Bombshells. There are 5 of them back there, and nobody has a star on, and they're just all playing defense and keeping Mimi Mahler from getting out. They formed a 4-wall right there and locked arms and forced Mimi off the track, or trying to burn the clock out rather than let Mimi get any points. Mimi goes brute force and down to the infield. You don't get any points for anybody you pass on the infield, so now they're going to have to check that. And of course your jam refs are right down there on top of it, Rosie the Ripper and Crash. Rosie is looking, and we'll wait. I'll get out of the way momentarily. All right, a lot has happened in the last 15 seconds. 9 points for the Valkyries. First of all, the Valkyries have opened up their largest lead so far. Like I said, they went up 20-0 early, and now they're up by 24. So the Valkyries' largest lead. Okay, that being said, it's a power jam for the Bombshells. Wait, we've had a double whistle. Hold on. Jam reset. Jam reset. All right. We will go back. That literally means we're just going to go back and start over. So something was not quite ready. Got it. Too many. Okay, thank you, Lucy. I appreciate it. Lucy for filling me in. You know, honestly, when you're up here like, why did the regulators do that? You should probably just ask a regulator. That probably usually would work. Meanwhile, back to it. So, sorry, power jam. Power jam for the Bombshells. Let's hear it from the Bombshells fans. There was a penalty, in fact, during that productive last jam for the Valkyries. So it is going to be Skid Vicious, and she gets knocked down quickly right off the line. Watching as they come down out of the first turn, and now at the back straightaway, Skid's clear. 49 seconds to go in the power jam. Bombshells are going to look to hack into that lead as much as possible, and this is a great chance to do it. But the Bombshells have 3 blockers to the Valkyries 4, and so far the Valkyries are still controlling the pace of play here. If you're not familiar with roller derby, you'll see how the pack is kind of playing keep away from Skid Vicious. And that's because they have not been, oh, look at that, there's a block, Dolly Spartan down. I thought that was one of the Valkyries, and they might have had their chance. Now, finally, Skid catches up to the pack, and now Mads is going to clear some people out of the way. That people being, that's Shirls at the back of the pack. 10 seconds left on the power jam clock. They've got Skid ground down to the inside. Excellent defense again on the front. Here comes Mads again. My goodness. If Mads doesn't win MVP for the Bombshells, I demand a recount. Mads Sin has been a one-person wrecking crew for the Bombshells tonight. I mean, to tell you what, if you need a hole cleared, yikes-o. Is that Mads Sin or is that Mike Allstott? Am I right? One person in this entire broadcast is going to get that. Heading up to the track right now is our game executioner. And is going to call an official timeout to talk over some of the action in that previous timeout. So, I do see 2 Valkyries in the penalty box right now. I see 1 blocker for the Bombshells in the penalty box. All right, we're back to it. Got the scoreboard updated now, 98-79, and I glanced over to do a score check, and Gigi was fixing it. So, and can confirm that was not Gigi's fault. I just want to state that for everybody in here. Seriously, it was not working. Gigi clicked, and it didn't work and had to be adjusted manually. So, yeah, no, that thing throwing you under the bus. How dare it? Meanwhile, up there, we've got our regulators are still talking during this official timeout. So that's going to give me a chance to tell you about more of our wonderful league sponsors. We've got some more of our league sponsors to tell you about. Things such as, well, not even league sponsors, but this is something like our regulators. You know, honestly, if you want to be part of the Derby community, but maybe hitting people or necessarily skating isn't your thing, the regulators have all kinds of roles. It is open gender or non-gender, as Freya Hugs tends to happen to identify as. So you need not have gender to perform on the regulators. And we have skating roles. We have non-skating officials. You see down there, Freya Hugs doesn't put roller skates on. You can help us out. Look for anybody in stripes, anybody in skate gear. We'll put you in touch if you're interested in volunteering, learning the rule set, helping be part of the roller derby community, and avoiding being on wheels, perhaps. We are back to the game. We are back to the game. The official timeout is over. It's 98-79, and we've got a jammer race right out the offset. Mimi Mahler to the front. Mimi's trying to get the star on and is trying to stay in front of Jaeger and does it and gets the star on to call it off. Here's the problem. Mimi had to get the star on to call off the jam. So Mimi is skating while trying to use 2 hands to put on an elastic cover that doesn't want to go on your head. It wants to spring off and hang in the rafters. So just picture how hard that is. So Mimi had to get that on her head to call it off without letting Jaeger become the lead jammer and then perhaps score points. We're going to have another official timeout. Nope, that's a team timeout. That is a team timeout. So that's a Valkyries team timeout. I am going to take a second to get out of the way. It looks like scoreboard's got a chat, so I'm going to get quiet. Team timeout. We are back to the action. We have everything sorted out, 98-79. Valkyries have taken one of their second half timeouts to talk things over. Jam 47, we are at 9:30 to go in regulation with the Valkyries up by 19 at the moment. However, getting lead jam this time around is Strange. Strange once again. Strange here usually skates with the Coffin Draggers. Is now out and clear for the Bombshells. However, here comes Pretty Hurt Machine, taking over once again as jammer for the Valkyries. Meanwhile, blowing into the front straightaway was Strange, and a block by Nikki Badass knocked Strange off their skates. Tumbled down to the infield, called off the jam on the way. 4 points, and it's going to be 98-83 here once we get everything squared away. 98-83. We are fighting actively with the scoreboard program, so just honestly bear with us if you're watching here in person. I got Gigi's back on this. Anyway. Meanwhile, we've got Scaring Jaeger down on the chat. Yeah, we've got everybody's hand timing just in case. We're all good on this. Just in case. Scaring Jaeger down to the inside. Meanwhile, and now to the outside, tries to get around Mimi. Mimi's got a shoulder up into there and gets some help now, and they're going to escort Jaeger down off the track. Your jammer for the Bombshells got right off the line and got knocked down so fast I didn't even catch who it was. It's Scaring Jaeger. There goes Jaeger. Excuse me, your jammer for the Valkyries, I meant. I knew Jaeger was out there, obviously. There goes Invader Slim for the Valkyries. And Invader Slim is going to pop back up on the track. We'll check on that momentarily. There goes Scaring Jaeger, gets through, picks up 4 points. 8 minutes left in regulation. Hey, look at that. It worked again. Oh, my goodness. And, yeah, you did nothing. Anyways, well, whatever.
I just want to report that I had both of the food trucks.
Yes. Gabagool went out to, oh, my God, that frozen, that stuffed waffle looks amazing.
I got the stuffed waffle. I got the falafel.
Baby. Yeah, we can confirm the food looks really good. Meanwhile, thankfully, the scoreboard has fixed itself again. And, again, now it's 98-87, Bombshells catching up. And this is going to be a jam with Hurricane May for the Valkyries, and that's going to be Skid Vicious. Skid driving hard, trying to get through around the outside. Wow, Hurricane May around the outside. Woo, that was fast. Yikes. You know how fast May is, and she still catches you off guard sometimes. Wowzers. Jiminy Christmas. It just takes me a second. It's like stunning how fast she can get out of the path. Around the inside, a little jump, little hop and a skip to get by a blocker, and Hurricane May is through on a scoring pass for the Valkyries. The jammer for the Bombshells down to the inside, trying to find, they're looking, it's clearing away. Skid Vicious now mid-pack is trying to play jammer defense, now trying to take off. Hurricane May around the outside and gets around a blocker. Wow. Skid's going to get out now. May is going to come around and try to get back for another one. Bombshells are trying to keep the pace of play, trying to play keep away. Hurricane May, now a Bombshells blocker. They got one held up. May to the inside, leaps over a sliding Juicy Kill Tour and then takes all the contact right there at the end from Impaler Swift.
Wow.
Oh, goodness. Hurricane May is going to literally crawl back to the bench. And our medics are already on their way over to check on her, but will technically, by the letter of the law, make it back to the bench under her own power, although it was leaking oil. I'm going to step aside as Rosie's going to come over and talk to Streak about the points momentarily, but holy heck, this bout. My goodness. One moment. We'll be right back.
Deshauna Rose to the announcer's booth. Deshauna Rose.
All right. Procedural point I'll sneak in here to say is that the Bombshells timeout has been refunded. There we are. So the Valkyries have one and the Bombshells. 1 second. The Bombshells did get their team timeout back, as we mentioned. We were watching down here. So since that turned into an official timeout for injury tending to, you did see, like I say, May's now up, sitting on the bench. Medics talking to her. So really absorbed a lot of contact there at the end, and it was just hard. Like, there was nowhere for her to go. She was trying to get the points. You saw it right there at the tail end.
She got a lot of points.
You did, too, yeah. I mean, we go back to the score, and you look once again. I mean, May put 12 points on the board during that jam. The Valkyries have gone up over 100. The Bombshells are knocking on the door, 110-87 still. So Valkyries are in front by 23. There's 6:18 to go, and as we said, the first 4 jams of the game were 20-0 Valkyries. The next 5 jams of the game were 20-0 Bombshells. And there we got an applause everybody's applauding to us. So it looks like May is up on the bench, getting 10-2 once again. So yeah, like I said, huge swings. 6:18 on the regulation clock. I'm going to ballpark that's enough time for 4 or 5 jams. So, I mean, the Bombshells have work to do. There is no question about that, but there is time in which to do said work, which is the important thing for them here now. Valkyries are probably, you would have to guess, are going to shift into
charity. Oh God, okay, yeah. I gotta get to my show, okay?
Yeah, get there. Where's it at?
Boycott.
Okay, all right. Absolutely.
8 o'clock.
All right, team challenge by the Valkyries. We're just kind of sorting everything out here because this got extremely academic extremely fast. So yeah, so we had a team timeout that was refunded back due to the injury to Hurricane May. And as the teams were being informed that, now they went back to their benches. Infidel Castro for the Valkyries grabbed his challenge flag and flung it. So now the Valkyries have used their second half challenge for it's a points challenge because there go the eyes in the sky. So we will see it's a points challenge. So the Valkyries, all right, so then we can extrapolate. The Valkyries are going to challenge that Hurricane May didn't get awarded any points when she barreled into those skaters at the end, or perhaps one more mid-pack. Right. That's where we're at. So, points challenge. We'll find out on that momentarily. We mentioned the minor assaults briefly earlier, or at least I did, and I wanted to mention, we've got a lot of our skaters out there. Minor assaults are our minors program. You see their ad up on the wall here. And we will see them skating, of course. They've already had a bout this year where we've seen them skate a mashup, and we'll see them again oftentimes later this year. Some of our skaters that are out there right now from our minors program, of course, are NC Jammer, number 38 for the Valkyries. You've got, just looking at the roster right now, you got Mimi Mahler, number 22. I mean, I'm looking at the skaters. You've got Hurricane May, number 101. You got Muerta, number 131. You've got over there in the Bombshells, let's see. The Bombshells have Madison, number 71. Slappy Go Lucky, who's filling in, number 11D4, is a former minor assault. The list goes on, and the thing about the minor assaults is any of them will tell you. I've actually spoken with Night Mary, who graduated from the minors, and Mary herself has told me like how much being in the minor assaults really helped her, adjust to being a teenager, which, as you remember, if you were ever a teenager, sucked. And so honestly, like, I love seeing these skaters. I'll see skaters that come into the minor assaults, and within a couple of years, you can just see how like they've grown and they're outgoing, and you see them start to take on roles around the warehouse. That's our minor assaults. And as always, if you know somebody who's between 10 and 17 and loves to skate, all they have to do is basically know how to skate. There's no real open tryouts. There's no tryout dates for the minors. We take skaters all the time. So if you know anybody, if you are somebody who fits those criteria, or if you know anybody who does, I mean, heck, if you're listening to me and you got a friend who you think would just dig the heck out of this, let them know. Put them in touch with us. You know how to find us on social media. Drop us a message. We're all over that. We would love to have you. Meanwhile, we step out of that, and it did end up being a successful challenge for the Valkyries. So the Valkyries do indeed wind up getting 2 more points on the back end of that challenge, and they get their challenge back. So 112.87, and we come right back after that. After that Hurricane May 3 times scoring passes, now we're looking at NC Jammer for the Valkyries. And NC Jammer's your jammer in this Valkyries Power Jam, and a cheer went up from the crowd. What a fortuitous time for a Power Jam for any team. A team that's leading like the Valkyries in a bout that's been back and forth like this. What an opportunity. However, so far, the Bombshells defense has had something to say about that, even though there's only 3 blockers out there, and Zora LaBruja just got back into the pack. You got Madison, who I said again, I'm just going to say Madison should win most valuable blocker for the second bout 2, just because is also out there. I say they are. Anyway, meanwhile, you weren't talking to me, I'm sorry. I thought you were. Meanwhile, that Zora LaBruja is now going to get knocked down in the back. Leaning block there. Mimi Mahler's trying to get clear. Tries to get around. Scarin-Yeager, so much defense there. Wow, Zora LaBruja, Madison, Scarin-Yeager all visibly winded going back to the bench after that defensive showing. And they keep the Power Jam to 5 points, and they keep the dream alive for the Bombshells. A big Power Jam there of 15 or 20 points could have really been a hard blow to their chances to get back to win this game. And as it stands right now, you're looking at 4:48 to go in regulation. A 30-point lead is doable, especially Bombshells fans. You got a Power Jam for the Bombshells. Would you look at that? I don't need to make things up to make this bout more exciting. The Bombshells now have 60 seconds to try to say something about the game being over or not. And of course, on the jammer line for the Bombshells is going to be Strange, who has done very well for the Bombshells tonight. Strange gets blocked to the outside. This is going to be a great one right here. Strength on strength. Sherles to the inside, a big block right there at the front end. Hurricane May Absorbs it, and the blocker's out of play. They got to get up. Strange gets blocked down, though, off to the inside. Back up. The blockers were out of play, but the block had already been delivered, so Strange has to reestablish. Almost kind of a timing thing there. All three blockers stuck their hands up, but Strange was already on their way off the track. And the Valkyries now deliver a much more final blow. That was just a split-second thing right there. Wow. If they had managed to get those, if Strange had gotten just a couple more paces ahead, Strange would have been clear. It's a game of split seconds, I'll tell you what. Amazing. Strange now catching up. There's 9 seconds left, and is going to try to get one scoring pass out of this, and is able to do so. So definitely they had the strategy outlined once the Power Jam got started. Wow, what a difference that made. Those blockers' hands went up. I saw it. All those blockers' hands went up. And Strange was already out of view, so the block had already been, again, just the timing of that. And you must have had on the live stream, that must have been right in your front living room. Oh my goodness, with that angle on the camera there, I didn't get a great look at it from here, I'm assuming. Because most of it was behind the post for me. Wow. So we're at 3:20 to go in regulation. Right now it's 5 points for the Bombshells. So 117-92. Valkyries in front with 3:20 to go in regulation. Valkyries are trying to be the first team to go to 2-0 on the season. NC Jammer for the Valkyries is going to get blocked hard. There's 3 blockers out there. But Remy Ruckus now comes to try to deliver. Scary Nager blocked off at the back of the pack by the defense for the Valkyries, who are going to do it again. And getting out of the pack for the Valkyries is NC Jammer. We're under 3 minutes to go in regulation. NC Jammer now catches up to the pack, up to the high side. Now gets pinned in. The Bombshells defense comes together. They're counting points. Scary Nager still trying to get clear. Those defenders at the back of the pack for the Valkyries have just ground that to a halt at the back of the pack. NC Jammer put the hand up to the star and then took it down. Hannibal Lecture gets knocked off balance. NC still not through the pack, and the Valkyries more than happy to just let the clock run down on that one. Valkyries are now going to be trying to grind that clock down. We're going to have a timeout, however. So this must be. Bombshells are going to now take that timeout they got back. So timeout for the Bombshells with 2:08 to go in regulation. No score from either side there. Excuse me, 4 points from the Valkyries. I apologize. A little too. I forgot NC got around. I'm sorry. It's been a heck of a bout to announce. There's been a lot of announcing to do, and I'm thrilled with how this has gone. Look at this. We've got Remy Ruckus on the bench being fanned. It's like 50 degrees outside, and Remy needs active fanning from the regulators on the infield because of how hot things are. You try skating in the trenches all night like Remy Ruckus. My goodness. You know those football drills where you run through the really hard things, like it's like a big like scaffolding and you got to run through and it's trying to knock the ball out of your arms, like that all night. That all night is what you're doing when you're doing roller derby, all right? You've seen the one where there's like we asked the baseball team to do it and the baseball guy runs up and hits it and bounces off. Like that's what I'd look like going out there. If I was allowed to put on roller skates by my podiatrist, which I'm not, and I wouldn't, but that's what I'd look. I would just, oh my goodness. You know, you look at me, you're like, big dude. I'm like, oh my goodness, no. You can't just, it's not just about being an obstacle. You got to be athletic as heck to do this. But the thing about it is you don't have to be athletic as heck to start. Like, you get into that as you're skating. That's the beautiful part. I've watched people do it. I love how people get in here and just watch their skills develop and grow. 2:08 to go in the fourth quarter. Once again, Valkyries are trying to close the door here. They're up 29 in the very late going. Hurricane May, again right down Main Street, and May gets out. You've got Dolly Spartan out there for the Bombshells, and Dolly Spartan is going to get clear to try to keep this to one scoring pass for Hurricane May. May bounces up to the outside, gets knocked off by Yeager and calls it off, falling off the track. Had a whistle, and that's going to say we had it called off, so checking on that. We've got, what are we looking at here? We've got 3 points for the Valkyries, 124-92. We're closing in on a minute left in regulation. We have a penalty, late penalty called in on the jammer for the Bombshells in the previous jam. So it's going to be NC Jammer out there all by her lonesome. We've got a late power jam for the Doomsday Valkyries. Valkyries are going to try to do what they can to, as the late, great Al McCoy like to say, the Valkyries are going to try to put this one in the old deep freeze. Oh, yeah, exactly. You pour one out for Al McCoy. You better, if you announce anything. I don't care if you're announcing somebody's order at Burger King, you better pour one out for Al McCoy. Meanwhile, spun off to the infield is your jammer for the Valkyries. Fighting to the outside, once again, NC Jammer for the Valkyries. Gets a block, gets blocked off again, and now here comes Mimi Mahler. Valkyries not sitting still. They're still working, trying to get their jammer free. And now NC out, lead jammer. There are 18 seconds left in the power jam, so there will be one more jam in regulation here in this game. NC now catching up to the pack, picking up a little bit of speed, goes to the high side, bounced off down to the inside, gonna drift back up on the track, and lets the rest of the time burn off the clock. So there we are. We are now gonna have the quarter clock's gonna expire here during this jam break. And so, lining up for our last jam, we've got, what do we have? Sorry, I saw May. I thought May was going to leave the track. We've got Hurricane May for the Valkyries, Slappy Go Lucky for the Bombshells. Hurricane May is playing some gamespersonship down there with Slappy. As I said before, both former minor assaults. Meanwhile, trying to fight through the pack. And there does Slappy Go Lucky right through and tries to call it off. Calls it off, in fact calls it off. I think was maybe trying to save time for a last one, but nope, Bombshells do call it off. So clock expires. We'll wait for the official signal from the infield, but I think we're gonna have a shakeup in the standings here with the league. Watching now to see if this is the final. Now we're going to see head referee, Ref Boyardee is going to step out and blow that whistle. And with a final score of 126-92, Valhalla has called. The Doomsday Valkyries are victorious. The Doomsday Valkyries are 2-0. And the Doomsday Valkyries build on their first ever winning record by temporarily, at least, perhaps, holding first place alone in the league standings. Let's hear for the Bombshells now coming around. Excellent, excellent bout by the Bombshells. Just at the end, you could just see grinding to the end of the fourth quarter. They just weren't able, just ran out of gas, started having people were missing, penalties started to pile up, gave up a couple of untimely power jams. Those power jams early by the Valkyries, obviously, the Bombshells were able to withstand. Those ones later in the game when the Bombshells defense was tired, that was all the difference right there, was the huge momentum swing. So there we are once again. Doomsday Valkyries are 2-0. Valkyries are 2-0 on the season. Bombshells are going to step off the track. They will be back to look for their first win of the year once again. And of course, honestly, look, I'm not going to, the Bombshells are 0-2. That is a thing. But however, 4 teams out of the 5 make the playoffs. So look, just because, Bombshells fans, your team is 0-2 does not mean that anything is by any means over. At this rate, we have 2 undefeated teams. And so we have a team that's 1-1. So 4 teams are going to make the playoffs. And you can easily make the playoffs with a 1-3 record this year. So you win 1, you're in good shape, Bombshells fans. So do not lose hope whatsoever. That condensed schedule is going to help us a lot this year. We will step aside momentarily. It is, oh, that's a leg cramp. Oh, boy. Yeah, I'm a little dehydrated from talking so much. My leg just cramped up. I'm going to go lay down and rest for a few minutes and then start the second bout. step aside momentarily. Gabagool is on her way. Let me get a round of applause for Gabagool, which I owed her on the way out, but she left during a. I'm serious. Give it up for Gabagool right now. I love announcing with Gaba, and here's the thing. I'll tell everybody this. You know, you want